You woke up this morning and the first thing you did was check your phone. Not for anything specific, just checked it. Notifications, messages, something someone posted, something you don't care about but looked at anyway. Then you made coffee, then you checked your phone again. Then you remembered what day it is and felt that thing. Now imagine waking up and none of that exists. No phone, no notifications, no algorithm, no inbox, no Monday, no Sunday scaries, no what day is it? Just you and the sky, and one question, what do I do today? For 99.9% of human history, that was the only question anyone ever asked. And the answer your ancestors gave is going to mess with your head because they were happier than you are, worked less than you do, and had more free time than you have had since you were a child. This is what ancient humans actually did all day. In 1968, an anthropologist named Richard Lee did something nobody had bothered to do. He went and lived with hunter-gatherers in the Kalahari Desert, and he counted how many hours did they spend hunting, gathering, cooking, carrying things, building shelter, everything. The total came to about 15 hours a week. That's it. That's the whole workload for staying alive. Now think about your week, the work you do, the way to get there, the emails after 6 p.m., the quick task your boss dropped on you at 4:55 on a Friday, the doctor's appointments, the errands, the dishes, the laundry, the bills. You hit 15 hours by Tuesday lunch. And this isn't one weird tribe in one weird desert. The same pattern shows up everywhere anthropologists look. The Hadza in Tanzania, the Ache in Paraguay, the Martu in Australia. Completely different continents, completely different environments. Same answer every time, 15 to 20 hours a week. The rest of the time was theirs, genuinely theirs. Unscheduled, unmonetized, just time. Anthropologists call them the original affluent society. Not because they had stuff, they had almost nothing. A digging stick, a bow, a few hides, some beads from a daughter or a sister. Everything you owned fit on your back. But they had the one thing every modern human is desperately trying to buy back: time. So what did a Tuesday actually look like? You wake up when the light changes, not when an alarm goes off. The temperature shifts, birds start moving. Someone is already up, adding wood to the fire that someone else kept burning all night. You eat whatever is left from yesterday. There's no breakfast menu. There's no what am I in the mood for. You eat what the camp has. Then you talk. This is the best part. The first hour of the morning is just conversation. Casual, relaxed, hours of it. About what happened yesterday, about someone who said something rude, about a dream someone had, about whether to move camp. Mid-morning, some people leave camp. The men might go hunt. They might walk 20 miles tracking an animal that they will statistically fail to catch. Most days, hunters come home empty-handed. The women provide more than half the calories. They gather, dig, climb, carry. They bring back the steady food that does not depend on luck. They've been doing this for hundreds of thousands of years, and they are really, really good at it. And here's the part nobody expects. You've probably heard ancient humans died young. Average lifespan in the 30s. True, but misleading. That number is dragged down by how many kids died before age 5. If you made it to adulthood, you had a real shot at 60 or 70. An anthropologist named Kristen Hawkes studied this in real hunter-gatherer communities and called it the grandmother hypothesis. The most productive gatherers in camp weren't the 25-year-olds. They were the grandmothers. Women in their 60s and 70s, still walking 5 to 10 miles a day, still bringing back more food than mothers half their age. Grandmothers were too valuable to die. By midday, food comes in. And here's the rule that built human civilization. You share it. If a hunter brings back a big kill, he doesn't own that meat. He hands it out. He often gets one of the worst cuts. The camp gets the rest. Anthropologists think this constant sharing is one of the things that built the human brain. Tracking who gave what to whom, who skipped a turn, who stepped up when it mattered. That is a level of social math no other species has ever needed. After eating, the camp slows down. The middle of the day is hot. Nobody works through the heat. People nap, they sit in the shade, they repair arrows, they weave baskets. They pick lice from each other's hair, which sounds gross, but takes an hour and is mostly just an excuse to be physically close to people you love. Also, not to mention, but sometimes they got high. And this is not a joke. Archaeologists found a 3,000-year-old sealed tube made from antler bone in a cave in Spain. Inside it, human hair. They tested it, multiple psychedelic compounds. Whoever this person was, they were tripping regularly, like professionally regularly. We also found cannabis residue in 4,600-year-old burial bowls in Central Asia. These people were getting high at a funeral. And here's what makes this actually insane. Every cave painting you've ever seen, every ancient tool that's weirdly too beautiful to just be a tool, every carving of a god or a spirit or something that doesn't exist. A lot of that came from people who were absolutely not sober when they made it. The middle of the day is for the body. If you need to use the bathroom, you walk into the bush. No toilet paper, no waiting in line, just you, a leaf, and the entire outdoors. If you want to have sex, you have sex. Hunter-gatherer cultures don't pile shame on top of it. There's privacy when people want it, but not the heavy taboo we attach to it. If there's a conflict, it does not escalate the way ours do. Because here's the thing, in a culture where you can pack everything you own in 15 minutes and walk to the next camp, most fights end with one person leaving. The Bushmen called it voting with your feet. If you can't stand someone, you go somewhere else for a few weeks. By the time you come back, the heat has passed. Nowadays, you can't vote with your feet anymore. You're chained to a house in the hood, a job that pays the bills, and a phone that tracks your location. Life was much simpler back then. Late afternoon, the pace picks up. People visit other camps. A few miles walk to see relatives, trade gossip, maybe arrange a marriage. The same handful of camps stay connected this way year after year, generation after generation. By adulthood, you know more than 100 people personally, every single one of them by name, by full history. When the hunters come back, cooking begins. Roasting roots and coals, cooking meat on a hot stone slab, splitting fruit, chewing seeds soft for the children. Then the whole camp eats. Everyone. They have done this every night for 300,000 years, and then the most important hour begins: storytelling. Long, elaborate, morally layered stories about ancestors, about the world's creation, about what it means to be brave, to be generous, to be a person worth knowing, and all these without writing, without books, without anything to record it. These stories were the hard drive of human civilization. The campfire was the cinema, the storyteller was the screen. And then they slept, but not the way you sleep. They slept in 2 phases. First sleep until midnight. Then they woke up. On purpose. They checked on the fire. They listened for anything moving in the dark. Protect the village from predators. Then they had sex. They fed each other strawberries. Then second sleep until dawn. So if you wake up at 2 a.m. and just lie there, thoughts drifting, you're not broken. You're not developing a sleep disorder. You are remembering like muscle memory. Here's the thing that broke my brain a little. They were not bored. I'm serious. The word didn't exist. The concept barely existed. You don't get bored when everything you do is your own choice. Boredom is what happens when you're forced to be somewhere you don't want to be, doing something you don't want to do. Boredom is a modern invention. We built it. Also, not to mention, but they didn't wait for anything. No waiting in line, no waiting for the weekend, no waiting for retirement. The animal came when it came. The rain fell when it fell. Nobody ever thought, I'm wasting my day. Time wasn't slipping away. Time was just what was happening. Then we made the trade. Agriculture started, villages, jobs, bosses, bills. We got antibiotics, refrigeration, the internet. Real wins. Nobody's suggesting we go back, but we also invented the 40-hour week, the performance review, the vacation you can't enjoy because work is waiting. We invented hurry. Nobody told your nervous system it's still out here listening for lions. Think about what they had. No alarm, no boss, no rent, 15 hours of work a week, hours of talk with people who knew their entire life story, sunsets with no reason to leave. And think about what we have. More comfort than any human who ever lived. And somehow, no time. We beat starvation, beat the predators, beat the cold, and lost every single Monday afternoon. They had nothing, and their time was all theirs. We have everything, and our time belongs to everyone but us. Well, that's the trade. Nobody asked you. It was signed 1,000 years before you were born. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up, and that quiet question shows up in the back of your mind, what do I do today? Just sit with it. That question is older than language, older than fire. Every single one of your ancestors asked it and answered it. Every morning, for 300,000 years. You're just the latest one in line. Thank you for watching.